What's going on, DFS Trash Talkers? Hey, we are back for another episode of NFL Under the Radar Plays of the Week. I'm your girl, Nita Rodriguez. Thank you for tuning in as usual. Uh, we didn't do too bad last week. We had Tank Dell and we had CJ Stroud, and they went off for us. So if you had the low owned stack of CJ Stroud and Tank Dell, you absolutely should have cashed your lineups. All right. Our third play in the Washington Commanders got messed up because Sam Howell thought for some reason the Bills was on his team too. So he kept throwing interceptions. They had fumble recovery. They had I think 4 interceptions he had that day. So the Washington Commanders defense was just getting ate up. All right. And but otherwise we did all right. We went 2 for 3. Okay. So overall that I think we're 7-3 now because I gave 4 plays in the first week. Okay. So once again, if you're not following us on Twitter, on IG, on Facebook, please give us a follow. DFS Trash Talk is the name. Under all that, that's where your cores go. That's where the player pool will be. Last week we had a mishap, and I posted a player pool I shouldn't have because it was behind a paywall. I did not know. So shout out to Al Zenderfield for bringing it to my attention. That's my bad. Won't happen again because, as everybody knows, I pay for all my stuff. Player Profiler is one of the absolute sites that I love. Shout out to the Podfather. Shout out to RotoGrinders. Shout out to PFF. Osimo. I use all their content. I pay for all their content. So if you're wondering where I'm getting some of my work from, or the percentages, or the data, or any of that, those are the sites that I'm using, okay? Nothing else. I'm not using anything else except that. All right? Let's go ahead and jump into our play under the radar plays of the week. And our first one is going to go, and I always start at QB. Again, these are for GPP tournaments only. I do not play cash, so they all carry some risk. So play at your own risk, as usual. All right, and we're going to jump into our first QB of the week. I actually named 2, but I'm giving it to Russell Wilson. I gave the other one to Justin Fields. So he's still a play of the week, but not my play of the week because he's carrying some ownership. Russell Wilson, though, he's the under the radar play of the week. 5.8K on DraftKings, 7.5K on FanDuel, so he's more of a DraftKings play. He has a smash rate of 6% according to RotoGrinders. Fields has a 9% smash percentage as well over there, so they're both up there. Projects for 6.8% ownership on DraftKings, 3.8% on FanDuel. The Bears defense has given up 7 passing touchdowns through 3 weeks and well over 300 passing yards to all the QBs that they have faced over the last 3 weeks as well. And so far, Russell Wilson's at least thrown for 30 passing attempts minimum. So I don't think that changes this week, especially with the Bears defense giving up so much through the air. And the Bears give up the 5th most fantasy points to QBs. So I really like Russell Wilson this week. 5,800 allows you to pay up for those wide receivers that we're always looking to stick in our lineups because they end up going off. So I really like Russell Wilson. Stick him in your GPP lineups. Our next under the radar player of the week is going to go to running back Raheem Mostert. Wait, yeah. I think I just said his name right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, he's our under the radar player of the week at 6.5K on DraftKings. He's 7.9 on FanDuel. He projects for 6% ownership on DraftKings and 2% on FanDuel. More of a DraftKings play again, but he is playable on FanDuel. Buffalo ranks 10th versus the run, but middle of the pack as a whole team, and they give up the 14th most fantasy points to running backs. He also projects for the 11th best running back on the slate, so RB11. In PPR fantasy points only. So that means on FanDuel, he's not going to get those same. He probably have less points than he does on DraftKings, unless he gets like 2 touchdowns this week. You never know because, Bills give up, 5-yard touchdowns here and there. Anyway, this is a new season, so the Buffalo Bills have played weaker teams. They have not seen somebody like Miami, so I really like them this week to take teams by surprise, especially the Bills. All right. So our next and final under the radar play of the week is going to go to Michael Pittman. Richardson is back this week, so I really like Pittman again. 6.5K on DraftKings, 7.2K on FanDuel. Projects 5.8% ownership on DraftKings and 5.3% on FanDuel. Target share over the last 3 weeks, 11, 12, 11. And those all went for 9 receptions, 8 receptions, 8 receptions for a total of 221.2 yards over the last 3 weeks. And he got a touchdown week 1. Hasn't had a touchdown in week 2 or 3. You know, I think that's chalks that up to Richardson vulturing those touchdowns as well, and him getting hurt. But he's back this week. And I think Pittman is due for a touchdown. Rams rank middle of the pack. I do like picking on the Rams a little bit still, just because they aren't the same team as last year. But I said that the last couple of times I picked on them, and our plays didn't do too well. So let's hope Michael Pittman can break that cycle, right? Where am I at? Okay, so they rank 18th versus the Pats, but the Rams do not pressure as much. They rank 24th in sacks per game. So that gives Richardson time to look for Pittman down low. And Indy's O-line is suspect. You know, we already know this. So it's a risky play. However, because where am I at? Because the Rams, lost my train of thought just then. Because the Rams don't pressure as much, I think Richardson will have time to find Pittman. And I think Pittman gets that touchdown that we're looking for. Again, he's going to be low owned. So get him in your GPPs, all right? So again, our 3 under the radar plays of the week are Justin Fields, Raheem Mostert, and Michael Pittman. I'm your girl, Nita Rodriguez. Thank you for tuning in to the week 4 plays of the week. I really appreciate y'all support. Make sure you're liking and sharing and subscribing, all that good stuff. And hopefully when I get back to y'all next week, some of y'all can share those screens with me and show me how well you've done, all right? I'll get at y'all next week. I'm your girl, and I'm out.